Yeah, it's Big C, Fin Posse Podcast in the building. If you hating on the Fins, turn this up louder. I grew up on Shula, chalk lines, cold rain, Marino in the pocket, dropping dimes, pure flame. 7-2 perfect, you can't say a thing back. Undefeated on your head, living rent-free fact. Jason Taylor off the edge, helmets turn to skyward. That thumping chests, every hit like a siren. You talking about rings, get your history straight. We the reason that the word perfect holds weight. It's that Fin Posse, Chage, turn the volume up. Hey, slick on Miami, you'll get called out tough. From the Orange Bowl ghost to that aqua on the cuff. If you doubt these Dolphins, you ain't studied us enough. Fin Posse, Chage, put respect on the name. Big C on the mic, lighting lanes in the flame. This the Fin Posse rage, yeah, we bark, we bite. If you talking about the Fins, better get that story right. Yeah, Larry C. Sonka in the mud, blood on his mouthpiece. Ricky in the backfield, making whole crowd screech. Wake off the snap count, quarterbacks daydreaming. By the time they look up, all they see is teal streaming. You forgot about Grease, you forgot about Twilly, you forgot Nat Moore. Going up, getting silly from Marino to a lineage, same jersey. We've been airing that thing out since before you that 30. Posse, Chage, turn the volume up. Y'all slick on Miami, you get called out tough. From the Orange Bowl ghost to that aqua on the cuff. If you doubt these Dolphins, you ain't studied us enough. Fin Posse, Chage, put respect on the name. Big C on the mic, lighting lanes in the flame. This the Fin Posse rage, yeah, we bark, we bite. If you talking about the Fins, better get that story right. This for the diehards, slamming doors on the loss. This for the old heads still quoting Shula talk. This for the kids wearing jerseys in June, waiting all year just to scream in the room. It's that Fin Posse rage, turn the volume up. Slick on Miami, you'll get called out tough. From the Orange Bowl ghost to that aqua on the cuff. If you doubt these Dolphins, you ain't studied us enough. Fin Posse rage, put respect on the name. Big C in the crew, let them drown in the shame. It's the Fin Posse rage, yeah, we bark, we bite. Fin Posse Podcast, get the Dolphin story right. Woo! Get the Dolphin story right. Woo! Get the Dolphin story right. Yeah. Check it. From the 305 to the world. Big C on the mic. Welcome to the inner circle. You know what it is. Yeah. Clock hits noon, ready for the breakdown. Big C stepping up, holding down the town. The Fin Posse Podcast, yeah, we talking shop. Fresh off the field, never gonna stop. For the fans, by the fans, that's the code. Every single snap, every yard on the road. We dissect the stats, every gain, every loss. Breaking down the tape, checking every cross. Fins up, hold it high to the sky. Hard hitting talk, no need for a lie. From the trenches to the end zone, we keep it true. The Fin Posse, yeah, we waiting for you. Fins up, let the rivals all see. It's the daily grind, it's the podcast, it's Big C. Yeah. Keep it locked, Fins up. Big C. Posse move.
What up, Fin fans? Welcome to another episode of the Fin Posse Podcast. I'm your host, Big C, and this is brought to you by Game Changers Media. How's everybody doing this beautiful Thursday? Wait, is today Thursday? Yeah, Thursday morning. I be lost. I be forgetting what day it is all the time, I swear. It's just crazy to me. You'd think that I'd be more in tune with what day it is, but good morning. Miami Dolphins, Washington Commanders, joint practice. We're going to get into it. Let's say hello to the chat. Marcos, good morning. You guys added a tight end in Darren Waller. Darren Waller looked good when he could be on the field last year for us. So I think that's a massive weapon for whatever quarterback you decide to go with. I heard there's a little bit of controversy, a little bit of quarterback controversy with you guys over there in Carolina, but we shall see how that turns out. Michael K, what's up? Big Lou, what's up? Bonnie, good morning. Marcos, good morning. You mentioned the Darren Waller thing. I see. Miller, good morning. I Dolman, good morning. Joe Rose said this AM our offense is HN and Douglas based upon scrimmage. He observed. I mean, I Dolman, really, I've been stressing what else is there? What else is there? Obviously, one of the receivers is going to be higher on the pecking order than the others. And it seems that Caleb Douglas is that guy. But again, I think this team is very limited, and we're going to get into it. Idolman says, what happened to our secondary? Well, a lot of guys were out. But, I mean, let's be real. And we've been saying it here, and I've been saying it all along, that the secondary is not good. It's not good. It's possibly, I mean, I think without a shadow of a doubt, it's the worst in the NFL. This secondary is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Miller says, for content, we practiced yesterday with 2 of our 5 starting secondary, and nobody could cover Caleb Douglas. I mean, I don't know if nobody could cover Caleb Douglas. I mean, did he have some grabs yesterday? Absolutely. Was he Miami's number 1 wide receiver yesterday? Absolutely. But to say that nobody could cover Caleb Douglas, like, come on. Come on. Maybe in Dolphins practice, nobody can cover Caleb Douglas, but and I don't even think Washington's got that great a secondary, honestly. But people, you don't think that opposing defenses are going to focus in on Caleb Douglas and put pressure his way and force the coverage his way? You don't think NFL defenses can take away a single for this Miami Dolphins football team in the wide receiver room? Caleb Douglas is going to be limited. Not to mention, you can say what you will, but he's got a slender frame. I worry about him staying healthy for a full NFL season. Yeah, hit that like button. Good morning, JD. What's up? What's up? What's up? JD, were you at practice? Were you at the joint practice? That's your neck of the woods, right? I don't know, but honestly, covering him, but that was a secondary with playoff expectations. Caleb Douglas is a rookie in his 12th practice. He's most definitely is that guy. Miller, I just don't understand how you were so against this guy and then you're just on his jock so hard. Even the Commanders were impressed with Caleb Douglas. Omar Kelly said he doesn't know how he does it, but he is always open. Oh, it was only for season ticket holders? That's kind of trash, right? That's kind of trash. I'm gonna open it up because I want to get some feedback from you guys on what you thought of the first day of Miami Dolphins joint practices with the Washington Commanders. Let me say, don't overreact. Don't overreact. Don't let your panties get too much in a bunch for the negative things that happened yesterday at practice, because I think that the Washington Commanders outperformed the Miami Dolphins without a shadow of a doubt, right? I think that they overshadowed us. Yeah, he's first off, he's 6'4", and 6'4", 206 pounds. He's lean. I didn't say that he was undersized. I said he was lean. He got a lean frame. He doesn't have a lean frame. You look at Caleb Douglas and don't think he has a lean frame. He doesn't got a frame like a Terrell Owens or even a Jamar Chase. I first off, Glenn, I don't have to admit anything because this is training camp. We have yet to play one regular season game. One regular season game we have not played. I wouldn't say a T. Higgins frame. I think T. Higgins is bigger. He will fill out that frame with an offseason. Glenn, you keep projecting things that you have no. He might just be a skinny guy, bro. Did that possibility ever enter your mind that he just might be a skinny guy? And Bonnie, you're stealing my thunder. You're stealing my thunder. Take it for what it is. The Miami Dolphins have a lack of talent on their roster. But one thing the Miami Dolphins did not do yesterday is they did not quit. They did not give up. They did not surrender. They kept fighting. They kept trying. They kept battling. And that is something that is different about this Miami Dolphins team. They got smacked in the mouth a few times yesterday, more than a few times, but they kept coming. They kept fighting. They kept fighting. Glenn, again, you cannot say that for sure. Again, he was worth a third-round pick for sure. I don't know how you can say that so strongly. This is preseason. How many times have you seen guys dominate a preseason or training camp, and then when the regular season gets here, they're not important? And I'm not saying that's going to be him. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I hope that it's not him. I just hate when people put a guarantee on something that off of they have no merit for what they're saying. iDog says we're going to be bad this year. A bunch of this team was torn down. It's called a rebuild. All I want to see this year is everyone giving proper effort, showing some growth by the end of the year. I agree. And I think we're going to get that because we finally got a head coach that is not going to allow for people not to give their all, not to give maximum effort. The culture change is here. The culture change, and that is such a huge deal for this Miami Dolphins team. More so than any amount of wins that we could muster this year. The fact that we have switched the culture and changed the culture in one offseason with a new head coach is just one of the greatest achievements that we could have accomplished this year. Glenn, let's be real. Them four guys sitting on the bench weren't going to make a difference. The Washington Commanders were going to do what they wanted in the passing game. The Washington Commanders were going to do what they wanted in the passing game. Miller says, plus your boy Chop finally delivering last year prediction might come true this year. Listen, I'm super stoked that Chop's performing in the regular in the preseason and in practice. In practice. You know what happened with Chop last year in practice? You had Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips boosting this guy's ego, telling us that this guy is a future defensive player of the year, that this guy's a monster. And then the regular season got here and he was beyond mediocre. So again, I'm not going to believe it until I see it in the regular season. I want to see it when the games mean something. And I don't think I'm wrong for that. Again, I hope Caleb Douglas can carry this over to the regular season. I hope he can be everything that a lot of you think that he is. But you cannot say that because he's having a good training camp or he had a decently good joint practice, that this guy is, he's set, that he's worth the third round pick, that he is the Miami Dolphins number one receiver, that this dude is it. You can't say it. You can't say it. So two starting corners. Listen, Glenn, they're only starters because they're on this team. They're only starters because they're on this team. And no, I don't think Chris Johnson's going to stop Terry McLaurin or Stephon Diggs. I don't think so. Nor do I think Juju Brents is. Jaden Daniels tore the secondary apart. Did it help that Chris Johnson and Juju Brents were out? No. But were they really going to make that much of a difference? No. That's to say that this secondary is good as long as it's healthy. And that's not true. That's not true. Our wide receivers are dusty. And again, everybody has high hopes for Caleb Douglas. But if Caleb Douglas is the only receiver that can produce on this offense, defenses will take him away. Defenses will take him away. I mean, Jeff Hafley joked around, but I think he was only half joking on the Rich Eisen show, saying Achane better be ready for 40, 45 carries a game, that he's going to be carrying them to the locker room. And I think we will probably get an upset win. I mean, I think there'll be a game that, Achane goes off and, we put it all together and we stun somebody. I think we'll get that upset win. And JD, I know that you want to be optimistic, but I just think Chris Johnson's a rookie corner. He's a rookie corner. Terry McLaurin and Stephon Diggs are veteran wide receivers. They were going to get theirs regardless. If you really think they would have made a major difference, then that's cool. But again, I'm not making a big deal about it. I knew this defense was sus. The run defense was decent yesterday. They were able to shut down Washington's run game, which is promising. That's promising, right? Malik Willis wasn't very, very good yesterday, but that's okay. I'm not even mad about that. The offensive line wasn't good. This offensive line that everybody thought was going to be a top unit this year wasn't very good. But I'm gonna throw the link out there. I want to get you guys' feel on what you took away from yesterday's practice. My big thing is the culture change. I like how this team feels. I like to see that they continue the battle, even though they're going in the situations that they know they're outmatched. They know they're outmatched, but they do not care and they're fighting. And I don't think we're going to have an issue of someone calling this team soft anymore. So one of the biggest things this team could accomplish this season, we've accomplished before the season even starts. And I think that's the culture change. I think we've switched the culture of this football team. It's done it's completely reversed. I feel completely different about this team and their willingness to hold each other accountable. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you become a member. Don't forget the super chats. Again, I'm not like a lot of channels that make you throw out them super chats to bring your name up and mention you in the comments. I see my boy Glenn was throwing out them super chats yesterday to get up on that Dolphin Confidential. Glenn, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, but I don't subscribe to them. I do subscribe to you and have a monthly membership, and I don't do that with them.
What's going on, brother?
But hey, I ain't gonna be long. I have to get back to work. But no, you're right. The defensive backfield wouldn't have helped. It might have helped. They might have been able to stop one or two extra passes. That's about it, pretty much. Maybe. Washington's a good team, especially Daniels. Daniels is what we want Willis to be. I would love that. I would love if Willis is Daniels and stuff. This team, that offensive line not protecting Willis at all, and Willis running all day. That's the more scary part. Because if Willis, when he was sitting back there and it was 7-on-7s, he was connecting. But you make Willis throw, even if he's good at the running part and throwing, you still cannot run and throw every time. You ain't no fine players every time you run and stuff or scramble. You just ain't gonna do it. That's the part that really bothered me the most was everybody's talking about the wide receivers. Man, I would love to see Caleb and Chris Bell and Coleman together.
And you will. You just gotta have patience. You will.
Yeah. Because I think that's our best wide receiver probably right there. Because I'm telling you now, who we brought in, you're right, Tutu and yeah, there's a reason. Yeah, Tolbert. There's a reason those teams let them go.
which I've been saying all along, and people didn't want to believe me. And, I'm not saying that Caleb Douglas got to prove to me. Has he been phenomenal throughout camp? He's better than what I thought he's been. You know what I mean?
He's
better than what I thought
he has to be. He has to be. Who else we have?
But again, he is dropping. He is dropping.
He did not drop any yesterday. He did not drop any yesterday.
He's dropping a considerable amount of passes during camp, though.
Hey, he says now. I heard something where he said he only dropped one pass.
I mean, Glenn, there's people there witnessing him drop these passes.
Well, now, when you say drop pass, was he being covered like if when? I guess it depends on you're dropping the passes and what people consider what a drop pass is.
Well, people can't. I mean, two statements can't be. Miller says that. Omar Kelly says, and I seen the statement. Omar Kelly says he's 7'11", he's always open, that nobody can cover him. Well, either nobody can cover him or he's getting good coverage and he's dropping the passes. I'm hearing that he's afraid to get hit.
I hate to put that on anybody. They're afraid to. You will see. Now I will see when he's coming up across the middle and he alligators the catch. If I see him alligatoring the catch, then I know he's scared to get hit. You know what I mean? Where he pulls his hands in, trying to protect himself. Yeah. But until you do that, I ain't gonna put that on somebody that you're scared to get hit. That is pretty hard and stuff. And the practice is what it was. I expected Washington should have beat Miami if they weren't, because Washington's considered a playoff team this year.
Well, I mean, Michael K says they're only at 7.5 wins for Vegas, so
they're still in the playoff contention teams. If I had a playoff contention, Washington would be one of those teams because of Jaden Daniels.
You'd put them over Dallas and Philly?
No, I said they'd be in contentions. I don't know about Dallas because Dallas has a good quarterback that's good, and so does Philly. And Philly has a better overall team, I think. But That does not mean, remember, 2 years ago, they went to the NFC Championship, and Daniels took them there.
They did.
And last year, Daniels got hurt, or they would still been in contention. So Washington's a playoff contender. I ain't saying they don't make it, or they are, or not. They're just contenders. They're not. Miami's not a contender. Miami's not a playoff contender. If people think they are, it's a little bit crazy. Now, winning anywhere from 4 to 7 games is pretty much where they're at.
And I'm not far off that. I said 4 to 6. And it all depends on if Jaden Daniels remains healthy. But I think Jaden Daniels, healthy is a top 10 quarterback already. And I think Stephon Diggs and Terry McLaurin are very good route runners. So it's going to be difficult for this Dolphins young secondary, that got some minimum contract players on it to keep up, especially without Chris Johnson and without Juju Brents. But I just don't know if those guys are they would have
the only player that
made a massive difference yesterday.
No, Chage's the only player. Chage's the only player that shouldn't play tomorrow night. Everybody else needs to play. I don't care about injuries.
But again, yesterday's practice, it didn't mean a lot for me. I'm a little bit disappointed in the offensive line, hearing that Quinn Ewers and Malik were running for their lives. The one guy for Washington had 4 sacks yesterday. I don't know how to say his name. I'm going to butcher it, but Uday or whatever.
See, I don't care about where they say, "Oh, I got sacks" or "I didn't." There's plenty of times where you thought I ain't taking the sacks into consideration, because unless the ref called it down, I've seen some quarterbacks, especially against Miami, get out of sacks that you thought were dead right sacks.
Yeah, we got to go. They're obviously they're protecting.
Of course, Redskins media don't say, "Oh yeah, that was a sack. That was a sack." Even if he went off, touched him with the head, running by, "Oh, he touched him. It's a sack." That's not how it happened.
We can all agree that the Dolphins quarterbacks were
under pressure.
Yeah, they were under pressure all day yesterday, right?
Yes. And that's where the offensive line has failed.
So, besides that, I'm not getting too caught up on the practice part of it. What I'm psyched to see is that the Miami Dolphins kept fighting. And I think that the culture change is real. I think that, Jeff Hafley holding these guys responsible for their actions and their play on the field is real. And that, we're no longer in danger of being called a soft team, because Jeff Hafley's not going to allow for these guys to be soft. So I think the culture change is real. I think I don't think it's 100% complete, but I think it's moved in the right direction. And I don't think we're going to have to worry about, being labeled a soft team moving forward, or a team that doesn't fight, or a team that, it can be kicked while it's down and not get back up. You know what I mean?
You know what the most embarrassing part about last year was? For me,
what's up?
It wasn't the regular season. It wasn't Tua. It wasn't any other people getting hurt. It was when we went to Chicago and Detroit, not 1 week, but 2 weeks in a row, and we were embarrassed and punked and bullied, and they made jokes about it. As a Dolphin fan, that was like the most embarrassing thing I have ever seen as a Dolphin fan.
I fully agree with you.
That was so embarrassing. That was so embarrassing last year. And just that we don't have to worry about, we were punked last year like this. That's a big difference. But hey,
how y'all doing
I don't
today?
let you go. Hey, I don't listen to your show and stuff. I have to get back to work and stuff. I listen to your show. I took
I
a break.
appreciate
All
it,
right,
man.
man. Take care.
Okay, talk to you later. Bye.
What's up, Sharif?
Man, I'm great. Hey, Big C. It's almost like we sat there and we predicted, and we put our plateau, um, you know, because we know about the 43 1 year deals. We know about the 13 rookies, how many undrafted. The depth
Mhm.
chart is out. 5 rookies is on it. We knew, what we are up against. And so I wanted to see fight. Um, and I think that is accomplished. And so uh, this is why, a lot of us wanted to have the fun conversation about prediction the records, and I can start predicting soon, but it'll probably be like after week 2, because week 2 of preseason, nobody's playing week 3. So like after week 2 of preseason, I can then make a firm, which tells me that Malik will play a lot in game 1. Um, so if Malik plays a lot in game 1, we get to evaluate people in game 2, and then game 3, people are resting. Well, the people who are playing for any NFL team in week 3. So yes, guys, Sharif will make the predictions, and where, but from what I've seen, let me see, 2 of the starting corners out. Siler didn't play. Um, most of the, I guess, most of the line didn't play like into the late into the session. Injuries, I think we came out good. Now that being said, I the number 3 and the number 4 corners, which is Bonner and Austin, I guess they got smoked a lot. And if they got smoked, hey, they need the experience. It's Jaden Daniels. But I'm not mad because, Bonner and, Austin got smoked at cornerback. Um, I'm kind of happy they got the experience. Um, I, my prediction was that if Chop is having a good time against Patrick Paul, then that will translate, because Patrick Paul was not a slouch last year. He was one of the upper echelon tackles. So for Chop to come out this offseason and make great work with Paul, it shows me that when he goes to play an opponent, and this is why I'm happy also, Big C, when he played his first opponent, that's not Patrick Paul he's playing against. In week 2, week 3, it's not going to be Patrick Paul, folks. He's going to smoke many tackles. That's just what it's going to be. So I'm pleased with what Chop did. I don't know anyone else has any. Uh,
Hey,
What's going on, Dean?
can you guys hear me okay? Is it the interference in the background interfering?
No, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. I'm at work right now. I just had to check in with you, Big C. Man, yesterday was a wake up call for me. I'm seeing what you're bringing. Um, yeah. I thought maybe 5 to 7 wins, but the way they looked at joint practice, unless they prove me otherwise, I'm looking forward to fantasy football this year.
Listen, I don't think that yesterday's practice we should take too much from it. It was an opportunity for the Miami Dolphins to get some real competition, not going against each other, and gauge where they were at, and they'll make
Yeah.
adjustments. And
But
we
we
will have
road.
Chris Johnson back. We will have Juju Brents back eventually. We will have Zach Sealer back. Hopefully, we get Austin Jackson back, and hopefully these guys continue to get better as the year progresses. These young guys with the experience, even our second and third year guys, the more NFL game time that they get, the better. And now we don't
Oh
have
yeah.
the Bradley Chubbs here and the Fitzpatricks here and the Jalen Phillips and the Tyreek and Jalen Waddles here to stand in the way of these young guys getting quality NFL snaps. So I expect them to get better as the year progresses. And that's what's
Yeah,
exciting for me. And that's what I've been saying all along is that this joint practice and them underperforming against a team that got more talent, I'm not concerned with that. That to me is not a surprise. But what is a surprise is that this culture change is taking place so quickly that regardless, these young guys are fighting. They're running to the ball. They're running to the lineup. They're continuing the fight even though they know they're overmatched. And
yeah,
and that to me is exciting.
yeah. That's exciting for me too. The future, definitely 2027. I'm looking forward to that. But this year, yeah, the only playoffs I'm going to see is in fantasy football. Hopefully, this year.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Um,
fantasy
My
football
man
is
said
always
he's looking
exciting.
forward to fantasy.
yeah, I'm definitely going to try to pick up HAN. That's for sure. But yeah, I it's so hard, being a fan since like 1985 or even before that. Um, and it just hurts. It hurts. But I just got to be patient. And the exciting part, like you're saying, is watching them grow and being homegrown and picked by our current regime, and just watch them grow into something that's going to be good and solid and a possible playoff team in the near future. I just wanted to
That's
check
what's
in
up.
with you, Big C, and yeah, I'll still root them on every game to win, but I'll have lower
Absolutely.
expectations now. All right, take care, guys.
Absolutely. All right, take care, brother. Thank you.
All
All
right,
right,
man.
bye.
I can say first Big C, Ali, and I think it was Ali and Ali. I think Color was there, but we were there draft night, and man, I can tell you right now, Trey Moore is making me look good. Shout out to Ali from Finn's Tailgate. We were chopping at the bit for this kid. This kid is, first of all, Texas, 18 sacks. He's coming to Dolphins with 18 size is disrupting everything. First on the depth chart, behind Chop. And I expected this. But not only that, he's able to work with the linebackers, drop into zone or drop into his coverage and do his placement need be. So you're talking about a switch knife in Trey Moore, a switch knife in Kyle Lewis, a switch knife. You got a bunch of Swiss blade knives. Shout out to Trey Moore. That when they got him, where they got him, Big C, I was jumping at the bit. I
Yeah,
didn't
I
mind
mean,
his 6'2" frame.
we'll see how those guys progress. I mean, again, my major issues with this draft were the Caleb Douglas, and hopefully he outperforms so far. So far during camp, sure, he looks better than a fifth round pick. The third round draft pick looks about right for him at this moment. But again, we're very early into his career to say that the pick makes sense right now is kind of crazy, especially when he was labeled the fifth round guy. uh the Will
Mm,
Kresmerick pick, I wasn't in love with that. It's still, they still act like we have nothing at the tight end position. Yeah, the guy's a good blocker, but I feel like you can find good blockers. You know what I mean?
mm,
Have more than a good blocker. You need a guy that can go out and catch passes too. And yeah, is his hands good? Sure, but he's not an athletic guy where he's going to be able to go out there and run routes and get open and do those
right.
type of things on a consistent basis. So to say that we don't have a lot, yesterday on Dolphin Collective, Poupart and Omar were saying we don't have nobody at tight end. That's crazy to me when we took one in the third round, right? When there was
Mm,
still the number
mm,
2 overall guard in the draft available. And look, we're
right,
hurting at the guard position. We needed a
right.
guard. And I think guard's more
So
valuable than a tight end that can block.
Well,
Joe, what's
the
up?
thing about it is,
What's up,
you would
guys?
like to. Hey, good morning, Joe. You would like to have a guy like Kittle, right? And the Kaczmarek athleticism doesn't translate to Kittle, but it translates like to a Troy Drayton. I don't know, Big C, if you remember Troy Drayton. That's one of the very
I
best
don't even think
blockers we
I
had
don't
at.
know if he's even that athletic.
No, but Troy Drayton could move a car, and we needed him to block for Ricky. Um, and I think, yeah, he blocked in the Ricky era. Troy Drayton was one of the very best blockers, not athletic at all. So Kekmaric is, to me, translate to a Troy Drayton. Um,
Hold on, Sharif, real quick. I want to address this. Kenneth Burnett says, "Don't forget about Atwell and Tolbert and this person and that person at the wide receiver position." And he says,
Very competitive.
You cannot claim that Tolbert and Atwell haven't had success in the league because they have. What success have they had, my friend? What success
I don't
have they?
know.
Have they
Atwell's
caught?
highest
Have they
is
caught a
what was
pass?
Atwell's best year?
Maybe 30, 40 passes, if that. I don't even know if it's that high.
mm,
Yeah, he's got
and
42. 2024, he went 42 catches for 562.
okay,
That was his best season. Although you could argue the one before it, 2023, where he had 39 catches for 483 and 3 touchdowns. He's
Puka
got
took his job.
Is
5
that
career
That's what happened.
touchdowns over 4 years of playing.
Is that success? Honestly,
You can't have success if Puka's taking your job.
but I'm saying, do you guys consider that success?
No, because
1.25 touchdowns a year? No. No,
because
he's
to
averaging
me,
like
to me,
400
they
yards
found
a year.
the Rams found a phenom, and when they found the phenom, the snaps just went away from you, like you're playing the same position as Puka. So the snaps went away from you. Your production went down. So the minimum production he has probably is in a like in a low,
Small,
uh,
man.
right, but it's probably, you can span it out to be, hey, what if he plays like 48 minutes in an NBA game? What it'll span out to be.
I'm saying he's too
Um,
small. 165 is too
He's a
small.
gadget guy. He's a gadget
Yeah.
guy.
If you don't have Tyreek speed, that's too small.
I mean,
to
he
me,
doesn't have
how I
Tyreek
look at
speed, but
how I
he's
look
got
at
good
Tutu,
speed.
I liked him in college, but he, once again,
Yeah, he
his
had some good
job
film
was
in college.
taken from
There you go.
Puka, and so that's not good on your resume. And you could have been the second receiver with the Rams. You could have evolved above Puka and just still been productive, but you devalued yourself. You didn't,
No,
you
he's
got beat
just not
out.
good enough. There's other guys
Right,
that took
What's
that
he,
place.
a fourth rounder?
right.
Devontae Adams, even when Cooper Cup was on the decline, but you know what I mean? Like Cooper Cup was still there. You couldn't overtake
Right.
those guys
You
because you're
couldn't
not good enough.
overtake those
Just like
guys.
Jalen Tolbert wasn't good enough to overtake the guys in Dallas. Jalen Tolbert, his career highs are probably right around Tutu Atwell's, maybe a little bit
Same
higher.
as Cedric Wilson. Look like he's the
You know what
next
I mean?
Cedric Wilson, eh? Mhm.
I just don't think these guys are. I don't know if you can label that as success. Not to mention, Tutu's been invisible at camp so far, from what I'm hearing.
He's
Jalen
tipping up a
Tolbert,
lot of passes and causing interceptions. I heard of
injury,
3. Mhm.
getting shaken up constantly, and just those guys are not going to be major contributors for the Miami Dolphins.
Another encouraging thing that I've been hearing, and like when you're playing a video game, Joe, Big C, and you're intentionally trying to power up a particular character. I think Sully is trying to power up Caleb Douglas to the next level intentionally. Like let's power this guy up to level 99 just so the NFL could know Caleb Douglas has arrived, and so I think they're forcing the level up in him, and I appreciate that. But once he cleans up the drops, apparently this guy gets open every time. So that tells me
Against
that
who
his
though?
route, right? But his route running seems to be elite, Big C, and if that's
Elite,
good,
elite.
yeah,
Who is he getting open against, my friend?
the number ones
We
from
can't have it.
Washington
We
did
can't
they
have it.
play?
we can't have it both ways, right? We can't have that Caleb Douglas is this elite route runner that's just constantly open. In Miami's defense, their secondary is one of the worst in the NFL, if not the worst. You know what I mean?
Washington,
There's a reason that he's getting open.
Well, he got open against. I don't
How
know
many
if they
plays
had
did he
number
really
ones
get
and
open
twos.
for yesterday? How many plays did he really? I mean, we
think
don't have. I
they
don't have the
said
numbers.
him and Malik had 6 touchdowns. So I guess he
Listen,
smoked him in like
listen. They said
7
that.
and
I
on
know that they
sevens.
said. I know they said that Malik hit Caleb Douglas for a deep touchdown, and there was no defense on the field. I know. I seen that. So are they counting those as touchdowns still?
I think the
There was
7
no
on 7
there was
Omar
no
said he had
defense on the
6.
field.
Yeah. In the collective, Omar said he had 6 touchdowns in the 7 on 7, and Caleb smoked him.
You heard him say that because I watched the whole
Mm.
collective and I didn't hear him say that. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again.
It's on the collective.
I didn't hear him say 6 touchdowns.
6 touchdowns
You,
from Malik
you
in the
heard that,
7 on
Joe?
7 drills. That was
I'm not.
impressive.
I don't care about 7-on-7.
Yeah, but yeah.
It's flag football.
Halfley said 11 on 11 is teaching. Yeah. So I mean, hey, you
I
can't.
heard yes.
Hey, man.
Miller, how
heard
many
yesterday-
passes did he have thrown to him yesterday? How many passes did he have thrown to him?
Who?
Caleb Douglas. He said he didn't drop a pass yesterday. First off, how do you know that?
Mm. He said,
Who
I
told
think-
you
I
that he
think I
didn't drop
heard
a
someone
pass?
did. I think I heard someone say that, but hey, they said Malik couldn't be jammed at the line in one-on-ones. I guess that's a good showing. Maybe
I
he'll
heard
get out of the way.
our DBs got cooked.
And they
That's the
did.
2s and 3s. That's Austin Bonner and
Those guys gotta be out there.
AJ Green. AJ Green. If Austin Bonner and AJ Green gets cooked, they need the experience. I'm not mad they got cooked. That's the 3, 4, and 5 corners.
Miller, Omar said he couldn't. He didn't see the whole. He didn't see the whole practice.
So was Marshall wasn't out there?
Jason Marshall was. He got cooked a little bit yesterday. Yep. The only ones that weren't out there were Juju and
Zane
And Chris
Anderson was
Godwin.
out there, who's been named a
Yeah.
starter.
Yep. They gave up a 70-yard touchdown to Trey Burke. I think it was him and Michael
Traylon
Taft. I think. Yeah. But that doesn't. I'm not concerned
other
with that.
Burks?
You know what I mean? This team I knew had a lack of talent on it, and a bunch of inexperienced guys. So it doesn't surprise me a team that is, I don't know how good Washington's going to be this year, but I know they got some veterans. I know they got a talented young quarterback when healthy. It's not a surprise to me that they took advantage of the Miami Dolphins' weaknesses. Other teams are going to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
Other teams are going to take advantage of
C?
our secondary.
What would you do, Big C, if Halfley decides to leave the first team offense in for two drives, right? And we smoke Washington 14-0 for the 2 drives that we. So what and then after that he pulls them. 4 minutes left in the first quarter. If we
I'm sorry.
smoke,
What was the question?
the question, what would your thought be if we smoke Washington 2 drives in the first quarter Friday, 14-0?
I mean, I'm not there's still.
But
I'm not
that's the
taking a lot
starters
from-
playing. The reason
No,
why I said that it would be the
not all
starters
starters.
playing.
First-
It won't
first
be the
off, all the
backups they
starters-
took advantage of. You know what I
All
mean?
the starters ain't going to play, and I doubt the first game we see any starters.
So you
typically
play
the
them in the
starters play the
second game,
second.
Big C, you think? What
Typically,
would
they
your
do.
strategy be? Okay. So
I
you
mean,
let
maybe
them
they
get
get
their
a-
warm
maybe-
up in this.
Maybe they get a drive in, first game, second game, maybe you give them a quarter.
A little more, eh?
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
okay. Because the third game, you're not playing anybody. That's my thinking of it. I don't know how Halfley would do it, but I would play my guys a lot. Week 1, and then let the other guys fight for position week 2 and 3. I would get my stuff off this week. That's just me.
Miller, you better worry about that line. Malik Willis is going to get hurt if he has to constantly run. And yeah, he was doing a good job running out of bounds yesterday and running for first downs. And he's got wheels, but that's not a again. Defenses will take that away from you. Good defenses will take that away from you.
Mhm. Right, and guys, that's against Meyer, Caleb William or Caleb Wallace, uh, who's the CJ, who's the kid we drafted, the guard we drafted, CJ, and the other. That's the backups, guys. No starter played for the O line, and yours got the same O line. So they played marginal, and they weren't able to. The backup O lines weren't able to protect Malik and yours. I'm okay with that. Expecting Caleb Wallace, who just got traded from New England, uh, Meyer, who showed the last three games of last year, backup center Meyer, he showed he was kind of okay at center. And then you're expecting the other backup with Gottlieb and the other kid. I don't think they're gonna protect. They're going against the first team defense of Washington.
Yeah, some notes from Dolphins practice. Chop Robinson has been the best player for Miami. That's promising. Run defense overall has been good. Secondary, no Johnson. Brent's Trader is getting torched. O line is getting killed. Caleb Douglas has been solid. Not great, not spectacular, solid. And Willis hasn't been great. Washington team notes. Washington's offensive line struggled today. As a result, the run game was a non-factor. Jane Daniels was still accurate and protected the ball. Wide receivers looked good. Washington's defense locked down, and Miami's offense is not good.
Listen, man, Jalen Wright got to do better when he has the opportunity, man. You have your opportunities, brother. Don't think I'm not looking at what's going on, Jalen Wright. You think just because older, I'm not look. It's you who's in there, Jalen Wright. You got to do better, man.
I mean, I think we
You got
got
to do
bigger
better,
concerns
Jalen Wright.
than our third string running back. You know what I mean?
But it's
We're
your
talking
time.
about. I mean,
He's not
Jeff
proving a
Hafley
damn
joking
thing
around
when
that
it's
he's going
his
to give.
time.
Again, like I said, we got bigger concerns on the starting lineup than the backups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know,
Yep.
we don't have to make excuses for yesterday's practice. It's expected. If you know what a football team looks like, a team that is a well-built team, and you know the game of football, this wasn't unexpected that Washington got the best of us. They didn't dominate us. They didn't destroy us, but they definitely won yesterday's battle. But our team
Yes.
kept fighting. They kept fighting. They kept giving it their all. They kept competing. And that's all we can ask for. They continued to try to get better. And that's what's important. We don't need to sit here and make excuses for, oh well, this guy was out, or this guy did this at least. No, we're getting better. We're trying to get better. We're learning about ourselves. We're learning a new offense, a new defense. Guys trying to be in the right places at the right time.
Right.
That's what's important about
And
this year.
yep. And if I flush out the practice yesterday out of my brain, right? The first thing I'm saying is I got the best left side starting on my O line in the AFC East. And when I play against Washington Friday, I'm running up the left side with A-Chain. So if I flush out yesterday's practice, I know I still have the best left side line better than Washington's.
I'm
If
not
I
even
run
playing
A-Chain to
A-Chain.
that left side.
I'm not even playing
No, but
A-Chain
I'm just
again.
saying, like we're afraid here, and we don't know what we've built up to become. We have to appreciate what we've also built up to become, which is a good left side on the O line. Not only that, you got A-Chain who knows that, and you got a safety valve in Willis and A-Chain who's going to milk according to day 10 practices. Willis is milking A-Chain is a dump off, is a safety valve. So like you said, Big C yesterday, I don't know how NFL teams are going to stop that combination of A chain to from Willis. Guess what? He also has a great left side to run through. So let's not be afraid of Washington Friday because I'm guaranteeing you. So who are we playing week 2 of preseason? Because if you're saying we playing the starters of first quarter, we're gonna pummel that team next week. If we're playing the starters next week of first quarter, the whole quarter, we're gonna
We got.
pummel that team
I know
because that's a
we
game
got.
we're gonna make important.
We play Atlanta and who else?
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Atlanta's.
goodness. We're gonna.
We don't have
I
joint
wonder.
practice against Atlanta though.
We might just lift Tua up. We might not put him to the ground. We might just lift him up and carry him back 5 yards and put him down. Just we may
The
do
Giants.
that, Big C.
Got,
Kiko Alonso did that. I don't think we're gonna slam Tua to the ground, Big C.
we got the Giants next week and then the Falcons.
Okay, okay. Oh man, that means. Oh, and Dax and Pax. He hasn't been looking good in the Giants practice.
Who hasn't?
He had the Pax kid. I forgot their starter. The young kid who Jackson Dart, I think.
Yeah.
He hasn't been looking good. In fact, they're concerned. And if that's the case, Athlete probably is going to send a flurry of blitzes at him too.
With who though? I mean, I just don't. We don't have the players that do the things people want to be done. Like we just don't got the. We're gonna send a plethora of blitzes. Like I mean, who's the rushers?
Why
that
did he
we're
do
gonna-
it against Washington? He did against Washington over 60% of the time. They said. Of course, I'm listening to Pupart
success
and
did they- I
Omar
mean, how
and
much success
TD
did
who
they
was
truly-
there. Mhm.
I didn't see that Jane Daniels overly got sacked a crazy amount.
Well, they said Chop would have had 6. I think he
6
touched,
sacks.
or when the Chop did what he wanted to do against their starter Connolly, starting
Well,
left
I mean,
tackle. Connolly.
hopefully Chop can carry that over to the regular season. I hope that he can really figure it out because I was high on Chop Robinson and he's definitely let
He did what he wanted to do against Connolly, man. That's what was said. So
Joe, what's your
guess
overall
what?
feelings over yesterday's practice?
Hey, good morning, Joe. Go ahead.
I think it's funny. Right as I come back up, you were saying you were high on Chop Robinson last year. Michael K is about to have a field day on that in the chat.
Oh no, we got an agreement.
Look, I didn't really dive into the practice, right? Because none of us watched it. We only had a few people to listen to on this, and some of those people, I'd argue, are give questionable takes as it is. But
Absolutely.
what I did listen to was Hafley's interview, and Hafley is my favorite part of this team right now. I wasn't that big on the draft. I wasn't that big on Hafley being brought in because the GM was Green Bay. I was a little bit disturbed by we were just giving guys jobs. But I'll say Hafley has been proven his worth to me. I think we got a good guy here that actually understands the players, understands how to use them properly, understands what it's going to take to turn around this locker room and this team and this organization. So I'm very high on Hafley. He's saying the right things. I'm not that big on preseason coach interviews because usually it's all candy and sweets, but he's saying the correct things about developing these guys the right way. So I'm very excited about that. That being said, our talent or the talent on the roster is minimal at best.
Yes.
My expectations aren't high this year, but I do think we have the right guy. So I'm going to be watching this year for development, not necessarily wins and losses.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
And what I appreciate, Big C and Joe, is that who explained? I think it was Cat. Cat explained the injuries going around in the NFL. Big C. Joe, you were there.
Yeah, we're not getting bit
And
by the
the
bug this year.
amount, the conditioning staff was fired, Big C. So the other thing that I appreciate about Offley is if he sees a mistake, man, if he sees something that's not going to work, he's gone. You're out of here, bro. The strength and conditioning coach, Big C and Joe, has done a fantastic job. You got four
Yeah.
guys right now who are day to day, and I think the person who's going to miss the longest is Siler, maybe a few weeks. That's it. Everybody else in the NFL is
Man,
suffering this,
I don't
suffering
think you
that.
should speak. I don't
IR.
think you should be speaking on that, bro. That's bad mojo right there. Like like I said, it's
But
still
Omar,
early. It's
mhm.
still so early to act like, oh well, this is the only 4 injuries we're gonna have all season. The you know what I mean? Like
Saying
the training staff
that's some
is so
bad
great.
juju.
Like
That bad juju is going to
It's a
get
bad
Juju hurt
juju.
again.
I just don't think we
That's a
should be
good one,
speaking on
Joe.
that because we just don't have any idea. Like yeah, keep your fingers crossed, but to say that this training staff has made it so we're not going to have the injuries we've had in the past is I just think that's
Well,
crazy.
but
Players
what
get
I
hurt
find interesting, right?
all year long.
Because the critical one, Omar, right? He said this like 4 weeks ago. The changes are, people are flying right up to the snap. So when there's a play in practice, there's no time wasted. People are running up to the next play. That's impressive. There's no time wasted. And he said the other thing is before that, they're stretching for hours. That's something that he's never seen between any coaches. Then the strength and conditioning staff was fired. So that up to now, so OTAs is over, um, um, voluntary is over. We're now almost playing the preseason game. I have to look and see what the changes is made and the fortune that we have since then. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not putting bad juju on it. There, the stretching, particularly, he said there's too much stretching. He thinks or overstretching. Omar is not a
But
trainer,
we don't have
and
no
Omar.
evidence that that's why people are healthy right
That's
now.
why I'm
I
saying
mean,
he shouldn't knock it because he is not a trainer. So what have we seen so far to knock it? The overstretching.
Who's saying we
All
were
we've seen
stretching
is
too much?
minimum injury. Omar, he's saying that he's never seen this much stretching before practice. But what
There's
has it
correlation.
brought to us?
Yeah.
It's brought exactly. This is 4 weeks from the first OTAs after draft. So
Yeah, I'd
this
say
is things that is
it's
happening in our
the
face. So
conditioning staff and the
you
coaching staff.
right.
They're not
You
putting them in
got to give them some
scenarios where you
credit.
guys are gonna get hurt.
Because if you look around the league, Kansas City, San Francisco, Philly, 17, 18 injuries. You've got teams. I'm sorry for those teams, but something they're doing that's not what we doing.
I just think
And
it's too
it's not practicing next to power stations. Whatever that nonsense was.
Oh my goodness, I heard that article. I read that article. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the pseudoscience.
Yeah, I don't want to see people hurt, and hopefully the stretching does help. But
Josh
I
Allen.
just don't think it's. I think it's way too early to say that this team is better off injury wise, and we have no idea, especially with the amount of this offensive line yesterday struggled. Obviously this isn't the offensive line that we hope is our day one starters, but if Malik has to run like that, if Jeff Hafley's joking around on the Rich Eisen show talking about giving Achane 40, 45 touches a game. But
thank you for phrasing that properly, by the way. Too many people were taking that seriously.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really going to come on. Like, people are unrealistic, Joe. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's why I have issues with a certain
people
somebody.
Are like, oh, Hafley said.
A certain somebody likes to blow things out the water and extravagate everything, you know what I mean? But Jesus, of course he's not going to give Achane 40 to 45 touches a game. Is there a game where he might have that many touches? Maybe one, you know what I mean?
Not even.
But yeah,
the first time he said that, I thought that was a joke. I
It was
laugh.
a joke.
But the thing
Absolutely
about
was
it
a
is,
joke.
right? People are asking Jamari Salyer and DJ Campbell, Meyer, the backup tackles, Caleb Wallace. They're asking these guys to try and protect Malik as though they're starting yesterday. And I'm going to tell you, they're not. And they didn't. And if you're ripping into what's going to happen Friday, you got to first see the starters in there. That's not an excuse, Big Cat, Big C. What it is though, it tells me that those guys need the reps. Meyer needs those reps. DJ Campbell needs those reps. Jamari Salyer needs those reps. So I like that. Okay, Malik was having to run. Well, he needs, and you know who gave it away. If you listen to Bobby Slowick's last press conference, he said sometimes Malik tries to, snap and do the like fake cock the ball back. Sometimes, and then he wants to like throw it away. Sometimes you gotta run, man. That's what Bobby said. Sometimes you gotta run. We want to see you run too. We know you're working your perfection and behind the park. We want to see you run. And
Yeah,
sure
but
enough, after that press
in practice,
conference,
it's
he
they're trying to
started to
see.
run.
No, they're starting to. They want to see specific things from practices. So like yesterday, when it called for it, he ran for first downs. He ran. He got out of bounds. He did the right thing.
I think
But
that was them saying this is the time for you to use that because this is your
well, yeah, but
backups in there
in certain
blocking for you.
practices where he's not running out the pocket, that's not what they're trying to see on those plays. You know what I mean? They don't want to
No,
see
I
Malik
agree.
escape the pocket. They want to see him move up in the pocket. They want him to see, you know what I mean, navigate the pocket, step up and throw it. You know what I mean? So lots of times it's probably not even an option. You know what I mean? He's not in danger of getting hurt. Everybody's in danger of getting hurt every play, but he's at minimum danger. They're not going to put a lick on him. So his lack of running in practice and doing that type of stuff, I think that's because that's what they're asking him to do. But again, I don't want to see my quarterback, even if he can, running 25 times a game. That's not what's best. He's not
Oh
the Josh.
no no
He's
no no
not
no
Josh
no.
Allen size. You know what I mean? Like, we're you got certain people out there saying he's going to run for 1,000 yards. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. We're going to have 1,000
People
yards
have got a
rushers.
little. They just seen a glimpse of him, and you got to understand some people because they seen a glimpse. They translate that to, and he's exciting. Yes, that's
I don't want
Lamar
him to run
Jackson,
that much.
Josh Allen esque. But
If
to
this guy's
me,
running
I
1,000
see
yards
what
a season, we don't even know if we have a
I don't
QB
see
at
that.
that point.
He's not
You
staying
What
know,
I see,
healthy.
that'll be so many rushing attempts that we won't even know if this guy can
he'll
freaking
have
throw.
gnarled bones. He'll have gnarled bones at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I
We'll have
see
2 more
is,
years on his
what
career.
I see, guys. I see a guy who's very like Steve Young esque. Like, okay, and this is why I say wins above replacement in the chat, Big C yesterday. Because when you talk
People,
about wins above
come on,
replacement, that's
we got to
sliding.
stop throwing out names like that. That's absolutely insane that you would Steve Young esque.
Mhm.
Like, we are crazy when
When I
we
when
speak
I
about some of
mean
these players.
running to give San Francisco more first downs. I don't think he ever was like excitingly bursting through for. I don't see Steve Young as ever being that. But
Steve
I
Young was
did
one of the
see
most
him pissing me
mobile
off.
Right. It
quarterbacks
wasn't
in
athletic
history.
prowess. It was just
Right. It was.
take off.
You know what it was, Big C. It was he was pissing me off as a Dolphin fan by always getting the next first down.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
we got
Steve
to
Young
stop
was.
comparing these players to these elite NFL all
But,
time
but
great
what I'm
players. We got to stop doing that.
No, I'm not. I'm not. What I'm trying to say is, what will he be? He will not be the 1,000, but what will he be? So I'm trying to give a a quarterback to say, okay, this guy runs for 7, gets out of bounds, and that's the next set of first downs.
You just brought
That
up
was
the
Steve
important.
Young to me, and Steve Young pissed me off with that.
You just
But
brought up
that's
the
what I see
important
in
stats,
Malik.
Sharif. That's what we need to be watching. It's not the yardage; it's the first down runs. This guy could have a lot of
Right.
runs.
And it's wins above replacement at that point. When you start to give the Dolphins more first downs because you slid for 5, and that's exactly that's like a Shohei Otani type of wins above replacement. Because what you're doing is we can go 3-and-out because of our talent. 43 1 year signed players, 13 rookies, 6 undrafted, whoop, wop, 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 whoppity wop. But you're causing more first downs for this team on your own. Yes, A Chain will cause some of that, but I see 5 to 6 wins above replacement with Malik.
5 or
That you're
6
not
wins.
going to be able to just. I see. That's what I see.
We're getting
Well, that
5,
should be
6
that
wins.
should
Because
be
of
the case
Period.
for any
Lucky.
starting QB.
he's going to have to run for that. He's going to have to throw for some of them too. But more than not, he's going to run for those. They're not going to, and we're not going to punt, Big Z. We're not going to punt. We're going to get that first down because of him.
Oh, we're gonna punt. We're gonna punt. We're gonna punt a lot. We listen. He's that's like his little mini superpower, right? That he's going to be able to get out there and run for first downs when Tua was unable to because of the injury scare, right? You know, I think Tua was capable of running for first downs. He just they weren't for it because of his injury history, and we knew that if he got hit, there was a good chance he was going on the shelf, and it wasn't worth it to us. Now we got a quarterback that is going to be able to do that, and it is going to help. It's going to be a major help when nobody's open. But teams will focus in on him, and they will do their best to take it away. They're not going to just allow him to scamper for 8 to 10 first downs a game and be okay with it. Guys are going to be able to
And
get
I'm
covered.
seeing it now.
They're going to be able to get covered one on
Mhm.
one. You know what I mean? A lot of our guys are going to be able to get covered one on one. So they're going to be able to have that spy, that quarterback spy that is simply in the game to eliminate Malik Willis running for first downs.
Which is going to
So
unleash either Dulcich or it's going to unleash McCackmarrick.
at first it's gonna be way more successful than later on in the season because teams don't know what we're working with. Teams don't know what we're really doing. But after teams figure
Mhm.
us out and have some gameplay tape on us, they're gonna fight to take that away from us.
Mhm. Mhm. And
I'll
this is
drop it real
where
quick.
I
Drop
think
it quick,
Bobby goes.
Miller, because I'm gonna get out of here soon.
And this is where Bobby. This is where Bobby goes into his bag. There's a lot of plays where, and this is why I appreciate Shanahan's offense, where you basically, when you finally snap the ball, whether it's a motion Tyreek left or right, when you finally snap the ball, you want the majority of the defenders on the side that you're not running to. And so when you do the shifts, it's to make a permanent change on the defense so you can have the least amount of tacklers where A chain is running. With this dynamic, now you're talking about Malik. You just mentioned it. You don't have to worry about the concussion, sliding, or him running out of bounds. Wins above replacement. You're talking about you're not going to be able to shut down A chain, and you're talking about a weapon that is new to the NFL, and he's going to make his name, and he wants to make his name. So I'm just waiting to see what the NFL is going to, how defense and coordinators are going to sleep hard. And they're not going to sleep soft. I'm telling you right now.
What's up, Miller?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, good morning, Miller.
Hey, man. I just wanted to say, do you still think we're not gonna win them like 8 games?
Yeah, we got $100 on that, Miller.
No, I know. You still think it's not possible?
Absolutely.
How?
You
I
want
mean, we had
you
2
want to
out of
double it?
5
You want
starting
to double it?
secondary, and we weren't
You want to
getting as
double it?
cooked as we thought we were.
They cooked us yesterday.
Yeah, but that was our 4th and 5th cornerbacks who are rarely going to be in the game.
Our first and second corners aren't that much better, brother.
Chris Johnson didn't even play 11 on 11.
Chris Johnson is inexperienced, is going to have a ton of mess ups this year, my friend.
We didn't even see Dante Trader.
Okay. I'm not wavering at all.
And then our wide receivers, dude. The one thing I don't understand, and I'm going to say it, I love Halfley, but what is he doing with Malik Washington? Why is Malik Washington the gadget guy? Tutu Atwell needs to be the gadget guy. That's the only position he excels at.
That's interesting.
In
I
the
don't think they're going to keep Tutu on the team, probably.
I don't think they are either, which is crazy to me because Tutu, to me, is a better Jakeem Grant. And Jakeem Grant was great here for me, in my opinion.
No, I'm not going to disrespect Jakeem Grant like that. No, sir. Jakeem Grant
wasn't
like
great.
a mini. He was like a poor man's Tyreek Hill.
Don't say that. How dare you?
He's a poor man's Tyreek. He can't catch.
He was absolutely nowhere near. He was nowhere near a poor man's Tyreek. Oh my God!
I never said a poor man's Tyreek.
I know.
No, I said it.
Just did. I knew he was going to say that. You stop that.
Listen, man. Only thing the difference was the only difference.
I got a question.
The only difference.
I think those two are brothers.
Dotson's going to get traded for a potential starter.
You're not going to get a starter for Dotson.
I mean, a starter for this team would easily. You know what I mean? I'm not saying we're going to get a real starter quality from another team, but they could start for us for sure.
I doubt it.
The thing is, Miller, is that you got to get. Halfley said it. You get more added to your packages, so you're going to earn more snaps to a package, which told me a couple of weeks ago that there's no such thing as a starter. Okay. You're very young. You're going to earn more.
You brought up the package because we're going to be running nickel because everyone's going to be passing against us. So there's no way we're going to have three linebackers on the field. You know what I mean? So
that's why Trey Moore is starting, because Trey Moore is probably good at stopping the run. So right now he's shown that, and so
I don't
think Trey Moore's starting.
I didn't hear Trey Moore's name once.
He's on the depth. You guys haven't seen the depth chart?
Yeah, I got it.
He's right there with Chop. Yeah, he's there. See, Halfley's sending a message. He's sending a message with that, though. Halfley's he knows. It's just like Jimmy Johnson. Listen, I'm going to send a message. Guys are going to be pissed. And guess what? Too bad, because you got Trey Moore starting. So what? Move him out the way if you don't like it. You know, like OJ McDuffie said, if you don't like it, then jump your starting position back. Get it back. Don't
Greg
be pissed
Dulcich was literally invisible yesterday, and we've been touting him as tight end number one, like the best relief for Malik. I think before we add a wide receiver, because we got two in the wings right now that are injured, Kevin Coleman and Chris Bell. I think we need a real tight end to complete the passing.
Nothing's wrong with Seydou Traore. Actually, when you hear things out of camp, he's been coming on late from day 7.
Come on, man.
So
don't talk to me about Traore. Are you kidding?
He can be a mini Jonnu.
Oh, don't say that.
I ain't mad at. We would sometimes, Dolphin fans, I have to say this. We want Le'Veon Bell. We want Stephon Diggs. I mean, we can't afford him, right? So you have to go in with the troops you have, but we still want Le'Veon Bell.
From yesterday's practice,
okay, that's gonna give us how much more wins is that gonna give us if we get 5 starters come through? That's the point. We gotta go through this, man. Next season, we're gonna be great.
This
like
season,
Big C says, we gotta go through it, man.
We get a real nickel, a real tight end, and potentially a real right tackle.
No,
but I don't think we'll be able to
get
a right
money.
tackle.
We got a little bit of money.
You
don't got enough to fill all the holes.
I know. We need a tight end that's capable of running this offense on a minimum contract and we need a real starting nickel because Chris Johnson should be on the boundary.
You could have got
We
Darren
got
Waller.
Kyle Lewis
Darren Waller just signed for cheap
for
with
that.
Carolina.
Jonu's out there, and I really think he'll come. We need a Jonu.
But they're not
He
going to
wants
make
too much.
moves like that. They're
It's
not trying to overly improve this team, Miller. I keep telling you.
Nobody's
Jeff
wanting to sign
Heffley-
Jonu. I'm pretty sure he'll come
Listen,
here on the vet minimum.
Miller,
and
if
rebuild
he
the
already
not
told
market
Omar.
again.
He already go ahead, Big C.
again, you guys are absolutely so off base with the thought that it's not about these guys won't come here. If the money's green, they'll come. But
Right.
our front office, our head coach is not about adding these veteran players that can truly help this team
Right.
because they hold on one second. Does my mic still
Like
sound good?
mercenaries. Your mic's better now. Way better. It was a little crackly. With that mercenaries, he doesn't want.
No, he doesn't want. He's not looking to improve this team by a win or two. He knows what we have. Maybe he's not saying. Of course, he's not saying it to the public, and he's not. I mean, but he has. He has in certain ways. People just aren't catching on. This
Well, I
team
guess I just better
isn't-
start
Jeff
using
Heffley
AI
doesn't
to
think this
figure
is a
stuff
playoff
out.
team. It's not a playoff team. It's not. He doesn't think it is.
No,
If
it's
we really
not.
thought we were a playoff team, we'd be adding players at certain positions. We'd be trying to get a real guy in the secondary to help us out. We'd be adding another receiver.
We
We'd be
didn't see
adding,
the Broncos do that, and they made the playoffs.
legit right tackle. Bro, come on. Would you stop with the Broncos?
How? How am I supposed to stop with the Broncos when they laid the foundation? You go by their
What-
roster,
yeah,
and the
you
only
think
two
Jeff
people
Heffley's
they
following
have better than
the
who we have on
foundation?
roster.
You keep saying
Is
that, but their
PS2
overall
and
roster
Sutton.
was way better.
How?
I'm telling you. Look
Who
at
was
it.
their
They
starting
made the
safety?
playoffs.
Do you
We
know who
won't.
their starting safety was?
It doesn't. Who's
He
your starting
played for
safety
us.
now?
He literally played for us. They had
Brandon
Brandon
Jones.
Jones as their starting safety.
Okay.
You don't think we have a better safety room
Okay.
than what Brandon Jones would deliver?
No, Brandon Jones played phenomenal for them.
How'd he play
He
here?
played phenomenal for us. We just
No, he
Chris
didn't. He
Greer-
was taking out our
listen,
own
man.
players.
Chris Greer, once again. Chris Greer special.
Regardless, it does not matter. Jeff Heffley knows where this team is. He knows what he's trying to see from this team. He knows this team is not a playoff team. They're not going to add the vet that you want them to add. They're just not gonna.
That's the thing, though. We didn't know where we were at until we went up against a playoff caliber NFC team.
Jeff
that
Heffley
is the
knows where
Washington
we're at.
Commanders.
Jeff Heffley knows where we're at. He's there with this team.
That's why I asked the question, and this is for everyone in the comments. If we come out on our first two drives Friday night, 14-0, they don't stop us. We go up and down the field, and we give the ball back to them with 4 minutes left in the first quarter, up 14. What are we saying? Are we overhyping the offense? What do we need? Do they pull everyone else out? Is that enough? Are you satisfied? Because I'm telling you right now, it's not the
That's not
same team that
happening. You're
Washington is going to
making stuff
happen
up.
Friday. No, but I'm just saying it's not the same first team that Washington is going to face Friday. Washington is going to face the complete Dolphins team Friday night. So if we run up and down the field and give them back the football for up 14-0, how does it make you feel?
First off, that's not going to happen. Second of all, it doesn't make me feel anything. There's been plenty of teams that go 4-0 in the preseason. This preseason stuff is
The real question is,
nonsense.
did
Absolute
after
nonsense.
yesterday, did you walk after the practice yesterday? Did you walk away with more questions and concerns, or did you walk away with more answers?
I felt
My
good
answers.
that we competed. I felt
Yes,
good
that was
we
some of my
competed.
answers. Yeah.
I didn't go in
Did
with
you expect us to compete?
a great amount of questions because I know the answers to the questions. I know how
That
this
means
team
the
is
backups
built.
fought. The backups carried the Dolphins' name yesterday. And if they fought, we have to appreciate that. They carried
We
the
had
Dolphins'
starters-
name
we had
yesterday.
starters- we had starters out there yesterday. Like, let's not act like we just threw out all our backups.
Big C say
Yeah,
don't.
we had backups.
Big C say we got pushed around a bit.
They beat us. They beat us, but they didn't embarrass us. They didn't destroy us. They didn't bully us, and that's what I'm impressed with. And that's what I'd like to see. I want to see us progress. I want to see from week 1 to week 5 us get better. I want to see a mistake that Chris Johnson makes week 1 and week 2, not make it week 6 and 7.
Boykin. Like,
their receiver room is decent. It's not. Their receiver room's decent. I wouldn't say it's a top 10 unit.
They had playoff caliber wide receivers going against our backup corners. They should have burned us a whole lot more. The fact that we were even
they did burn us.
Somewhat.
They did burn us.
Volume.
Yeah,
they did burn us.
They said Jaden Daniel connected for more than 7 20-plus yard plays, which is you're breaking coverage somewhere in those 70 plays from Jaden. Jaden was sweet.
70-yard touchdowns. Diggs had multiple touchdowns. McLaurin had multiple touchdowns. Like, come on. They did dominate our secondary yesterday.
Jaden Daniels, they said Jaden Daniels looked like Michael Jordan.
We've known what Ethan Bonner is for years. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a surprise.
But they need that, guys.
Since he's been here.
That's not going to count against anything. He needs that experience, though. That's what I'm trying. I mean, like, your backups playing against starters. Okay, the backups need to be smoked by the starters. They need that experience.
Hold on. So, would Chris Johnson and Juju Brents made that much of a difference yesterday?
I think Juju Brents has learned one thing.
Well, I mean,
he's one of the best. He's one of our best press corners we have.
One of the best that we have.
Yeah, Jeff Hafley said it. He said, "Would he wanted Juju to understand it?"
Commander's corner room, and I guarantee you, they're better.
Hafley, okay. Everything they say, Sully and Hafley, that they and you know this, Big C, they have been truthful, and they have everything they said they would do. They have now. If Hafley goes out on a limb from here on out,
we didn't have Juju,
I am going. And if he
Johnson,
seeks you out,
Dante Trader Jr. Lonnie Johnson was looking like a liability out there. We need our guys. You know what I mean?
Lewis Moore is standing out
against playoff caliber wide receivers. And when they hold their own, even just a fraction of a second.
But my point is, Miller.
Their own completely. But it wasn't.
But my point is, Miller.
Fire. You know what I mean?
But my point is, Miller. Listen to the press conference of Hafley. A head coach would not go out on a limb and call players' names. He would say every player needs to do this. But he's been seeking out certain players' names like Juju Brents to show that Juju is really understanding the press coverage game and how good he's become at it. Then he's also said how Jason Marshall threw off a guy in an up and out, basically taking 3 seconds away, and the quarterback had to go somewhere else. You need to teach these guys that.
And Jason Marshall got taken advantage of yesterday too.
So what is happening now is Hafley is giving up a little in the competitive advantage. He's saying the Dolphins will press you. But what he's also saying is if we press you and you go somewhere else, that gives Chop Robinson and Blaine.
Thanks for letting me up, Big C.
All right, Miller. That's giving Beal, that's giving Ojabo and these other guys a chance to get to you. And so coverage side, right? Coverage side comes from a good jam. And I need my head coach to say, okay, this guy's improving. I'm gonna call you out in the media. So now I picked you up in the media. Now you like what he did with Sabanaya. Please stop asking me about last season. Okay, Savi is having a good year this year. Focus on that. After that, Sabanaya starts throwing people away, right? He's at a good camp. And if Hafley goes to the point to call you out like this, you better start stepping up. Because number one, I'm looking forward to who's going to do push-ups today. Some guys made failures, and it will come up in the tape. And you're gonna
All
have to
right.
do push-ups and laps because of. Oh, go ahead, Big C.
I'm going to close the show out. I appreciate you coming on, brother.
Yeah, man. Love you, man. That's what's up, man. For training camp.
All right. I'll talk
You
to you.
take care.
I'll be on tomorrow. See you later. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Peace. Listen, guys, again, I'm super stoked that the Miami Dolphins battled yesterday. Again, it was expected that this Washington Commanders team were to get the better of us at practice. Did they demolish us? Absolutely not. Did they smack us around? Absolutely not. This wasn't a situation like the Detroit Lions situation last year. And that makes me feel good. Obviously, Chris Johnson may have made a difference yesterday, but how much of a difference? I still think that, that Washington's receivers and Jaden Daniels would have got the better of us. And it's not because Chris Johnson's not a good player. He's just a young, inexperienced guy, and he's going up against veteran, savvy guys. These guys just, please, as a Dolphin fan, we're all Dolphin fans. We all want the best for this team. Please just hamper your expectations just a bit. Trust me when I say that things will get better. There will be improvements. There will be. But to expect 10, 11 wins on a year this is a rebuild. I've been saying it all along. Now you can go and you can listen to your favorite podcaster, and that's cool. You want all the hopium in the world, that's cool. But as a football fan and someone that knows football, you guys are smart enough, and I have faith that you guys are smart enough to realize that this team is incomplete. And it's nobody's fault. Nobody that's here anyway. The reason that this roster is so incomplete is because of the prior people that were in charge. They were irresponsible. They gave away money to people that they shouldn't have gave away money to. We gave Bradley Chubb massive contract extension. We should have never even traded for Bradley Chubb. Let's be real. Not a first round pick. He was kind of considered I wouldn't say that he was considered a bust coming from Denver, but he never lived up to his potential. We continued to give Jalen Ramsey money for no reason. Oh, I can't practice my ankle. And then we give him more money after we had just given him money the year before. Oh, I'm fine now. That's the type of character guys we were bringing in the building. No longer is that the case. And I'm super happy about that. Tyreek Hill, I was a big Tyreek guy. Listen, Tyreek was so exciting to watch, and I loved having him here. But the last year of Tyreek's contract wound up paying him $50 million. There's no way that we could have paid him that. And then he suffered that career-threatening injury. And then the Tua Tagovailoa contract. Did I have faith that Tua could win us playoff games with the amount of talent we surrounded him with? Absolutely, I did. But I'm not a Tua-neer, and I was not on board with giving Tua that massive contract extension. They should have 100% had him play out that fifth year, but they didn't. We can't go back and change it. But that's why we're an incomplete team today, because we have $180 million in dead cap. And Jeff Hafley seems like he's the right guy. Eric Sullivan seems like he's the right guy. But they didn't have enough. They don't got enough ammunition in the gun to fix all the problems that the Miami Dolphins have. And that's okay. This isn't a one-year fix. We got some talent on this football team. We truly do. But we have to let them progress. It's like a fine spaghetti sauce. You got to let it simmer. You got to let it progress. You got to let them flavors build. You got to let these guys naturally get better. Trust me when I tell you, I really feel like we're moving in the right direction for once. And the culture change is real. I really believe that. But you need to lower your expectations as far as wins and losses are concerned this year. Next year, I'm in the boat with you. 10, 11, 12 wins. I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. If these guys can progress the way that I feel like Jeff Hafley can get them to progress over the course of this year, I'll believe it. You give John Eric Sullivan another draft and a free agent period where he's able to go out and spend a couple dollars if he wants to. I'm in it to win it. I'm in it. But this year, it's all about getting better. It's about the little things. It's about the little victories. The narrative's not going to change. They're only going to look so good. They're limited in the amount of talent they got. There is no super high for this football team. There just isn't. There's not a game that you're going to watch this year and be like, wow, they could go out and win a Super Bowl. Or wow, they look like they could beat any team in the league. We don't have a situation where we got a super high end. Again, be happy if we win certain situations be happy if we stop the run against the Giants. You're talking about the next set of scrimmage. Be happy if we dominate against the run. But when push comes to shove, the Giants are probably going to beat us in most categories. The Giants secondary is probably going to take advantage of our receivers. The Giants are probably going to get pressure on our quarterback. And their receivers are going to take advantage of our defensive backs. It is what it is. Just allow these guys to they're going to take their bumps. Let them grow. Let them grow. Give them an opportunity to grow without seeing them as a disappointment if they don't meet your unrealistic expectations. That's what I'm fearful of. I'm fearful that this fan base thinks we're going to win 10, 11 games, and when we don't, and Jeff Hafley never told you that we were going to. If you really listen to Jeff Hafley, he says it. He says that we're rebuilding. He says that this team is in the middle of a season where it's not going to look very good. But you got to read between the lines. He's not outright saying it. What head coach would? He wants to be able to keep his players motivated. So, of course, he's not going to throw them under the bus too much. But Jeff Hafley knows. That's why the Miami Dolphins will make no massive signings. They will not add a player of significance before the start of the regular season. They're not going to go shopping for a veteran wide receiver or a starting caliber corner or a starting caliber safety. They're not going to do it. And that tells me everything I need to know. Because if he felt like this team was a player or two away from competing, they'd go out and make moves. They'd go out and add that a weapon, a player. I love y'all. I appreciate you all. Again, I'm stoked about yesterday's practice. Did the Commanders beat us at practice yesterday? Yeah, they did. But they didn't destroy us. They didn't embarrass us. They didn't belittle us. And that's what I'm happy about. The culture is changing here in Miami. It's different. We're no longer going to be that soft team teams can bully. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share. Thank you for everybody that sent Glenn, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the jewels. I still can't figure out where the jewels go and this, that, and the third, but I appreciate each and one of you. Make sure you become a member. If you're up for fantasy football, hit my email. It's going to be a ton of fun. Again, I allow people to come up, talk. Don't forget the super chats. I don't force people to super chat me like a lot of channels do. But don't forget me. I'm trying to make the channel grow, and it helps a lot. I put every dollar back into the channel, and I even do giveaways. So I appreciate you all, and you know what it is. Fins up. Peace.
Yeah. It's Big C. Fin Posse Podcast in the building. If you hating on the Fins, turn this up louder. I grew up on Shula. Chalk lines, cold rain, Marino in the pocket, dropping dimes, pure flame. 7-2 perfect, you can't say a thing back. Undefeated on your head, living rent-free fact. Jason Taylor off the edge, helmets turning skyward. That thumping chest, every hit like a siren. You talking about rings. Get your history straight. We the reason that the word perfect holds weight. It's that Fin Posse. Rage, turn the volume up. Hey, slick on Miami, you'll get called out tough. From the Orange Bowl ghost to that aqua on the cuff. If you doubt these Dolphins, you ain't studied us enough. Fin Posse. Rage, put respect on the name. Big C on the mic, lighting lanes in the flame. This the Fin Posse rage, yeah, we bark, we bite. If you talking about the Fins, better get that story right. Yeah, Larry C. Sonka in the mud, blood on his mouthpiece. Ricky in the backfield, making whole crowd screech. Wake off the snap count, quarterbacks daydreaming. By the time they look up, all they see is teal streaming. You forgot about Grease, you forgot about Twilly, you forgot Nat Moore. Going up, getting silly from Marino to a lineage, same jersey. We've been airing that thing out since before you that 30. Posse, raise, turn the volume up. Y'all slick from Miami, you get called out tough. From the Orange Bowl ghost to that aqua on the cuff. If you doubt these Dolphins, you ain't studied us enough. Fin Posse, rage, put respect on the name. Big C on the mic, lighting lanes in the flame. This the Fin Posse rage, yeah, we bark, we bite. If you talking about the Fins, better get the story right. This for the diehards, slamming doors on the loss. This for the old heads still quoting Shula talk. This for the kids wearing jerseys in June, waiting all year just to scream in the room. It's that Fin Posse rage, turn the volume up. Talk slick on Miami, you'll get called out tough. From the Orange Bowl ghost to that aqua on the cuff. If you doubt these Dolphins, you ain't studied us enough. Fin Posse rage, put respect on the name. Big C and the crew, let them drown in the shame. It's the Fin Posse rage, yeah, we bark, we bite. Fin Posse Podcast, get the Dolphin story right. Woo! Check.